right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
2 weeks from Christmas and no sign of snow in our forecast. Why our chance for a white Christmas keeps dropping.
Fight for the finals. Ruby Lee goes live from LA. We're there as family and friends cheer her on from a small-town Missouri bar. Our top story, an urgent call for St. Louis leaders to act now to help the homeless.
It's wintertime now. It's starting to get cold. People are starting to die.
Just hours ago, more than a dozen people rallied outside City Hall. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The group is calling on city leadership and the Board of Aldermen to take action after the unhoused Bill of Rights was taken off the table. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski is live outside City Hall, where a homeless encampment was shut down about 2 months ago. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, one of the founders of Lifeline Aid Group, says they're very concerned about the homeless who say they have nowhere to go and want more action from city leaders.
We have unhoused people living around the corner right now as we speak.
As the temperature continues to drop, concern continues to grow for the homeless people living on St. Louis streets.
It's wintertime now. It's starting to get cold. People are starting to die. This is the time where people start to get frostbite because they don't have the proper clothing, the proper shelter, just the proper necessities.
If you spend some time out in the cold, you have just a taste of what they live through day to day.
Co-founder of Lifeline Aid Group, Drew Falvey, says unhoused people have lost trust in city leaders.
We are out here because of the unhoused Bill of Rights. There hasn't been any traction on it. There hasn't been any news coming out at all. It's just been eerily quiet. There's been no new updates about it.
Renee Adams says she knows firsthand how easily someone can become homeless.
I was working full time. I was living in New York City. I did not have credit, and I could not find a place to live, thanks to the kindness of my coworker, who I did not know for some time. I had a place, thank God, to stay, but by all accounts, I was homeless.
Falvey says he wants to see action before he sees another life lost to the cold.
More shelters, more resources, and definitely I would like to advise just bringing back the warming bus. We had a warming bus back then. Why not bring that back now? People relied on that to stay warm.
The mayor's office responded saying we've greatly increased our year-round shelter bed count, secured a brick-and-mortar alternative to the warming bus, and continue to seek organizations for additional shelter space using an available pool of funds. Alderwoman Alicia Sanye spoke after the unhoused Bill of Rights was taken off the table in a statement on Twitter, saying that there would be some new bills coming up, but we haven't seen any updates on that just yet. And Alderwoman Sanye has not responded. I reached out to her after the rally, and I've not heard back from her and other aldermen tonight. Reporting live from downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
Well, it's another chilly night on the streets of St. Louis and across the bi-state. Temperatures falling after a mild Monday. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here to tell us how cold it's going to get in this Weather First forecast.
Well, in some of the outlying areas tonight where the winds have settled down and under this mainly clear sky, which we had in time for sunset this evening, we're going to look at those temperatures back down into the low and mid 20s, but most of us have a bit of a breeze hanging around, and that's holding temperatures up just a little bit, especially in the urban areas. So it's all a function tonight of whether you have a breeze. Right now, 40 degrees in St. Louis, but a lot of the outlying areas have already managed to slide back into the 20s. So there's a lack of active weather and mainly dry weather into next week. Overall, near to above normal temperatures, but we do have a few chilly mornings, one of them again tomorrow morning, as we're down into the 20s away from town, low 30s in town. Rest of the week, it looks like we're trending a little bit higher on those overnight temperatures. We'll talk about the weekend in just a few minutes, Mike.
All right, Scott. Good news tonight for drivers in North St. Louis County. After more than 3 years, MoDOT's multi-million-dollar I-270 North Corridor project in Hazelwood is finally finished. New tonight, Robert Townsend caught up with some relieved drivers excited about tomorrow's grand opening and ribbon cutting.
Took long enough. For more than 3.5 years, Danny Weekly and tens of thousands of drivers along this stretch of Interstate 270 in North St. Louis County have endured nagging detours.
Maneuver around in a little recklessness, and it was hard to get to the dentist up here.
and aggravating delays.
Coming home, it's been a little rough.
And if you don't know the highway, all the construction, you will mess up.
For drivers, the big mess took off right after the Missouri Department of Transportation's $278 million project started in April of 2020. MoDOT says it gave 7 major interchanges along an 8-mile stretch between Lindbergh Boulevard and Highway 367 major makeovers. The original stretch of road was paved way back in the 1960s.
Inconvenience while all that construction is going on.
But now, Weekly will soon breathe a big sigh of relief because the big improvement project is finally completed. On Tuesday, MoDOT will show off the reconstructed interchanges at several well-traveled spots, including North Lindbergh, New Florissant Road, and New and Old Halls Ferry roads. Drivers will also see an additional lane in both directions on I-270. The multi-million-dollar project will also include new and replaced bridges. Now, MoDOT also tells us traffic signals out here have been tweaked for the better.
I like the lanes that's coming, but hope it runs smooth.
MoDOT's confident it will. Their long-awaited ceremony shifts into high gear Tuesday morning.
Definitely glad.
I'm glad, but I won't be there. I'll be at work.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Governor Mike Parson will be among the speakers during the grand opening. It will be held at the I-270 North Lindbergh interchange tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., and the public is invited.
A hunting incident over the weekend claimed the life of an 18-year-old. Officials say it appears to be an accidental shooting. Trent Bush was a senior at Winfield High School in Lincoln County. He was duck hunting with friends at the Ted Shanks Conservation Area in northern Pine County just after 7 Sunday morning. Officials with the Missouri Department of Conservation say it appears to be a tragic hunting incident and nothing more. Bush's principal says he was an athlete, an ray of sunshine, and adds that it's important to his family that something good comes from this tragedy.
He's a great young man doing what he loved, and we want to make sure that everybody gets to enjoy it in a safe fashion so that nothing like this ever happens again.
Also, additional counselors were on hand today for students and staff, and Trent's mother released a statement to 5 on Your Side saying, quote, he was with 2 of his close friends. Never in his life would he have been upset with his friend over this. We stand with the friends that were with him because that's what Trent would want us to do, end quote.
Tonight, Illinois lawmakers are calling on the CDC to look into the health impacts of ongoing sewage and flooding issues in Cahokia Heights. Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski and Senators Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth cite a study from Washington University in St. Louis. The study claims nearly half of adults in the town are infected with a bacteria that can cause ulcers and gastric cancer. The state lawmaker is also calling on the Illinois Department of Health to investigate.
It's a fan favorite for blues fans at Enterprise Center. Tonight, it is the tune Ruby Lee belted out during the semifinals of The Voice. The 16-year-old yodeling sensation from Lincoln County is hoping tonight's performance will secure her a spot in next week's finale.
And tonight, her friends and family packed a bar in Marthasville to watch her perform in the top 9. Our Justina Cornell spoke to some of her biggest fans as they rave about Ruby.
Country roads take me home.
It's a song picked by fans. Take Me Home, Country Roads. 16-year-old Ruby Lee sang her heart out. The message in the song hits close to home.
I think she channeled the Foley roots there of small towns, dirt roads, gravel roads. I think she had a blast up there. I mean, it looked like it.
While Ruby performs in Hollywood, here in Missouri, family, friends, and fans pack Corey's Twin Gables and Marthasville.
Corey at Corey's Twin Gables hired her when she was 11 years old for her Friday night entertainment.
So, I mean, that's got to tell you something.
Ruby's mom and sister know this moment is pivotal as Ruby competes in the top 9.
I think she killed it.
And those who've been watching for a while.
We've been watching her perform since she was 9.
Actually, Ruby played here when she was 11.
They say it's been a beautiful journey to witness.
I think the first few notes I ever heard her sing, I mean, head to toe goosebumps.
Family friends love Ruby's larger-than-life voice and admire her even bigger heart.
She's got a heart of gold.
As the teen inches closer to a potential record deal, her loved ones say Ruby will always be connected to her roots.
First winner from Missouri is going to be amazing.
To see her and see her perform is amazing, and I think she's going to win it.
Tell everybody vote for her, please.
Now, the biggest message tonight is to vote. Now, you can find that information on our website, KSDK.com, and go to the section as seen on TV. Reporting in Marthasville, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
You can vote on the Voice website and the app. Voting ends tomorrow at 6 a.m. The results will be announced tomorrow night at 8 right here on 5 on your side.
Dependable drives. Tonight, car owners weigh in on gas and electric vehicles.
And it's taking a while even for established car makers to work through those growing pains.
The cars they say will have you steering clear of the repair shop. Going home for the holidays? Record crowds are expected if you're going by planes, trains, and automobiles. The 2 travel days you may want to avoid.
Travel weather for the next couple of weeks, it's looking pretty good for much of the country. A closer look at the upcoming weekend.
Tonight, New York firefighters fear people may be trapped under the rubble of a partial building collapse in the Bronx. Bricks and other items from the 6-story apartment building fell onto the street below. Canine units have been brought in to help search the debris. It's a big week on Capitol Hill before lawmakers leave for the holidays.
Negotiators are scrambling for a deal on a funding package that ties security along the U.S. southern border with aid for Israel and Ukraine. Tomorrow in Washington, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet congressional leaders and President Biden. Republican lawmakers are adamant they won't support new Ukraine aid without major changes to curb illegal border crossings from Mexico.
The House is expected to vote Wednesday to formalize the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Former Speaker Kevin McCarthy declared the inquiry back in September without approval from the full House. If approved, this will give subpoenas more legal weight. The White House has insisted Republicans have yet to uncover any evidence of wrongdoing. Attorneys for the president's son have filed a motion to dismiss federal gun charges. Hunter Biden faces them in Delaware. They argue it violates his Second Amendment rights. Hunter Biden is charged with obtaining a gun and lying on a federal form about drug use. Last week, he was indicted on federal tax charges.
Tomorrow we'll get the latest read on inflation. The release of November's Consumer Price Index will tell us what prices consumers paid for goods and services last month. The Federal Reserve will also meet over the next 2 days to make another decision on interest rates as it tries to get inflation down to its 2% target.
With today's stubbornly high auto prices and interest rates, buying a car, new or used, is a high-stakes financial decision. Tonight, Consumer Reports is here to help with its exclusive car reliability report, showing which makes and models owners consider the most reliable and the ones that are regulars at the repair shop.
Every year, Consumer Reports surveys hundreds of thousands of its members, asking them simple but important questions. What problems have they had with their vehicles in the past year?
Everything from the engine to transmission issues, leaks, paint and trim problems. And with EVs growing in popularity, we ask electric car owners about battery and charging issues. And then we can crunch those numbers to calculate the predicted reliability of new and also used cars, almost every car in the market.
Lexus and Toyota took top spots for brand reliability, followed by Mini, Acura, Honda, and Subaru. And while EVs are growing in popularity, CR's members experience 79% more problems with their EVs compared to gas-powered cars. EV trouble spots include issues with charging, electric motors, and battery problems.
Our members are reporting the same issues with most EVs as they are with vehicles that have been designed brand new from the ground up, whether they're gas or electric. And EVs are about the newest technology out there, and it's taking a while even for established car makers to work through those growing pains.
But automakers seem to have worked out the growing pains for hybrid vehicles. CR's members reported their hybrids have 26% fewer problems on average than a gas-only car. And CR found the type of vehicle you drive also matters. Sedans, along with hatchbacks and wagons, remain the most reliable vehicle types. Pickup trucks have been at the bottom of CR's reliability rankings for 7 of the past 8 years, with EV trucks coming in last this year.
Auto brands at the bottom of the reliability report were Rivian, Mercedes-Benz, and Chrysler.
Can you believe Christmas is just 2 weeks from today?
What?
Yes, and it's about to get busy at St. Louis Lambert International Airport and other airports nationwide. AAA predicts a record 7.5 million travelers will fly over the Christmas and New Year's season. Roadways will also be jammed. The Auto Club also predicts more than 115 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more over the last 10 days of 2023. That's 2.5 million more than last year, and the second highest on record. AAA warns Saturday, December 23rd and Thursday, December 28th will be the highest volume travel days. So if you are driving, gas may not be the Grinch that steals your Christmas. AAA is reporting gas prices are down on both sides of the river. In St. Louis, a gallon of regular unleaded is $2.81. That's 30 cents cheaper than last month. Over in the Metro East, it costs $3.23 a gallon. That's about a quarter less than a month ago.
If you're driving down I-44, you can now fill up at the first Buc-ee's store in the Show Me State. The travel center in Springfield is 53,000 square feet and offers 120 gas pumps. Buc-ee's locations throughout the South are a tourist destination known for clean restrooms, fresh food, and a friendly beaver mascot.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here with the Weather First forecast.
Yeah, it's kind of an experience if you go into one of those.
Yeah.
And I've not been.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, it is really something.
Plan some time.
Yeah.
If you stop.
A couple of hours.
Well, it very well could be. And it's not because you get delayed. You just go in and get sidetracked.
There's a lot to see.
Yes, there's a lot to take in.
And a lot to eat.
Yes. Well, and some of it's pretty doggone good. I'm just saying. All right, let's show you what's going on. We start with this morning sunrise. This from Lee. Shared that with us on our 5 on Your Side Weather Watchers Facebook page. You're pretty much looking at a similar scenario playing out tomorrow morning. Already down to 27 degrees now in Chesterfield. Mount Vernon's there as well. Salem, Missouri is down to 26 degrees. Here's the thing. If you get a little bit of a breeze, and it doesn't take much, your temperature's a little bit higher. If that breeze settles down, boom, your temperature drops because the air is incredibly dry. The dew point right now at 20 degrees. In the record books today, 52 for the high, 28 for the low, is 40 right now. Outlying areas down into the 20s under that mainly clear sky. Again, the breeze out of the south-southwest, pretty light as we head through tonight. High pressure's off to our east and southeast. That's giving us the southerly winds. There's your cold front that'll settle in here tomorrow. It basically brings a few clouds in later in the day into tomorrow night on into Wednesday, but it doesn't do much to really cool us down. In fact, tomorrow's another pretty nice day. The winds aren't that strong. We're in the upper 40s, close to 50 degrees going into tomorrow afternoon. So we watch tomorrow. Clouds will tend to increase late in the day into tomorrow night. As we go into Wednesday, odds are we're going to start with mainly cloudy skies. That'll last through much of the day, but then we start to clear up as we head towards the afternoon and evening hours. And overnight Wednesday night skies should clear out with any rain staying well to our west. Why is this good news? Well, this week we are peaking Wednesday and Thursday. It's the peak of the Geminid meteor shower, and really late at night after 10 o'clock, your best time. But you're going to want to look off towards the eastern sky, and you're looking up. Just basically find those 3 stars that make up Orion's belt and look to the left. You're going to want to find a very dark spot with a wide view of the sky, basically getting out into the open country, away from city lights. Late evening into the overnight hours are best. Any part of the sky, you should be able to see them. You may very well see one tonight shooting across the sky. This is one of the premier meteor showers, and it looks like overnight tonight we have mainly clear skies. Again, it peaks Thursday early in the morning, so Wednesday night into Thursday, but we'll probably still have a few meteors in our sky right into next week.
So we should look where?
Well, basically, once you get past 10 o'clock at night, you're looking, kind of up in the eastern sky. But you're looking, the whole sky. They could be anywhere after midnight.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. Frank is off tonight. Holden is next with sports.
As the Blues' up and down play continues, they may be on the verge of cutting ties with a player who started the season with high hopes. I'll have all the details on the other side of the break.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
We've reached that part of the year where things in the sports world really slow down before hitting hyper speed after the holidays. Most college sports are off this week for finals, but that's not stopping some gridiron standouts from acing their final exams before heading off to the NFL. Though the Fighting Illini didn't have much success on the field this season, that's not stopping Jerzon Newton from racking up some postseason awards. Newton was named a first-team All-American today after leading all Power 5 defensive tackles and quarterback pressures for the second straight season. His 44 pressures during the regular season led all Big Ten defensive tackles by 15, and he also led the Big Ten defensive tackles and sacks at 7.5, which ranked second overall in the conference. Joining Newton as a first-team All-American is Mizzou running back Cody Schrader from right here in St. Louis. Lightly recruited out of Lutheran South, Schrader spent the first 3 years of his career at Truman State before transferring to Mizzou. Schrader led the SEC in rushing at a shade under 125 yards per game this season, while chipping in 13 touchdowns. The 24-year-old needs just 105 yards in the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State to break Tyler Batty's single-season rushing record set in 2021. And Schrader wasn't the only Tiger to pick up All-American honors. Former East St. Louis Flyer wide receiver Luther Burden III picked up second-team honors after putting up nearly 1,200 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. And defensive back Chris Abrams-Draney joined him on the second team. 6-year senior tackle Javon Foster was also named to the third-team All-American. As the Blues prepare to face Detroit tomorrow night right here at Enterprise, there has to be some thought of righting the ship. They're in the midst of their longest losing streak of the young season, and the team's lack of effort is being called out. And maybe the first move towards righting that ship is finally happening. Forward Jakub Vrana was not at practice today. There is a report he may have played his last game with the Blues. He was on the ice for the first 2 Blackhawk goals on Chicago's fast start on Saturday. Vrana is -8 in his past 4 games and hasn't scored a goal since mid-November. Head coach Craig Berube withheld comment today, but this is what he had to say about Vrana's line after Saturday's game.
They just breakdowns by that group there, or what did you see?
Soft plays on the wall, and then guys at our net, nobody taking anybody at our net. That's what I saw.
All right, unless you've been living under a rock lately, you've probably heard that Shohei Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million contract with the Dodgers over the weekend. But what we're now learning is that comes with huge deferrals. As more details are being released about that historic contract, multiple reports say that Ohtani is deferring $680 million and will collect only $2 million per year during the life of that contract. Now, the deferrals will be paid out between 2034 and 2043. The idea was to defer that money, and that was reportedly Ohtani's idea, so that the Dodgers could chase some more free agents, as if they really need any more high-priced all-stars there in the coming years. And for those of you asking at home why the Cardinals don't do something like this, well, they have in the last 2 off seasons. They actually deferred Wilson Contreras and Sonny Gray's contract. And we finish tonight with this sad news. Major League outfielder Vic Davalillo passed away last week in his native Venezuela. He played a season and a half with the Cardinals in '69 and '70. He was an all-star, but his claim to fame was the 24 pinch hits he had in 1970, which was the record for one season. Later research showed he only had 23, though, but it was no matter. That record was broken in 1976. Davalillo was 84 years old. He played 16 seasons in the big leagues. And Mike, you said you actually remembered him?
Oh, I remember seeing him play. I saw him play with the Indians, saw him play with the Cardinals. Yeah.
He appeared in 2 World Series.
Yeah, I mean, he was a heck of a pinch hitter and a heck of a ball player for a while.
The Cardinals could use some guys like him.
And boy, that deferred money, that payment is going to come due at some point.
Yes. Imagine having $680 million.
It would be like winning the lottery
back.
for him.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Holden.
Well, this bud is for service members who won't be home for Christmas, the special gift that also helps a good cause.
2,500 little wishes granted, more than 900 to go. 5 on Your Side has teamed up with the Foster and Adopt a Care Coalition to provide holiday gifts to area kids impacted by foster care. Just go to KSDK.com/Little Wishes for more information. If the service member in your life can't come home for the holidays, you can give them a taste of hope for free.
Budweiser will send them rebates for a 6-pack of Bud. You can register on Budweiser's website. For every service member nominated, a donation will be made to Folds of Honor, which provides scholarships to the families of fallen or injured first responders.
Well, these little piggies will not go to market after all. Today, the mayor of Miami-Dade, Florida, pardoned 2 piglets from the fate of becoming holiday hams. Their names, Travis and Cherry Taylor, after Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
Are you saying Travis and Taylor are a bore? And there you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis starting at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.